Hello, my name's Dave Goldberg. I'm a faculty member at the University of Illinois, and I'm co-director of the Illinois Foundry for Innovation in Engineering Education. Today I'd like to talk to you about the broad recognition that engineering is changing, that we live in a much faster paced world. It's even become such a commonplace to talk of the world being flat from Thomas Friedman's famous book, and that we need engineers in tune with these times. Yet, to form a conception of the type of engineer that we need and frame that up intellectually is a difficult challenge. So the way we want to do this in this brief video is talk about the Cold War curriculum in an internet world, talk about the missed revolutions of our times, and also talk about the engineer of the future as a category creator. Following all that, we'll conclude by talking about the problem of changing engineering education, which will be dealt with in other videos. Much of engineering education, and for that matter, a good portion of engineering practice, was formed in the crucible of World War II and the Cold War. Vannevar Bush, then head of the Office of Scientific Research and Development after World War II, wrote a famous report called Science, the Endless Frontier, that set the stage for science funding and technology policy in the U.S. in the post-war era. That report did many interesting things and many things that changed the way in which engineering is funded in the academy, and it changed many of the ways in which curriculum is taught. And many of those things were appropriate to the hierarchical, specialized world in the post-Cold War era. But the times have changed, and since World War II and the Cold War, a number of revolutions have occurred, which in some sense are missed in the academy. The quality revolution using statistical quality control, particularly in Japan, and what that meant to the change in manufacturing and the whole quality revolution. The invention of Silicon Valley and the notion of venture capitalism, which has spread throughout the world. The IT revolution of the last few years has certainly changed things, and now some people say we're in a conceptual or creative era. But in many ways, the academy has been slow to change and pick up these things, in the sense that we teach these subjects, but we ourselves are not a quality institution. The academy is not an entrepreneurial institution, nor is IT integrated well into the fabric of many of our academic institutions. Well, these things can be explained by looking at the technology that's taken place in the intervening time, and also thinking of what that means in terms of transaction and network costs. But clearly, our times are different. And these different times call for a different kind of engineer. In the Cold War, the engineer was largely a category enhancer, making things more efficient, stronger, better in some way. But in this creative era that we find ourselves in, engineers need to create whole new categories of product and service, reflect on the number of different categories of product and service that did not exist a few short years ago, and we can understand that that requires a different skill set than the engineer of the Cold War. Dan Pink, in his book A Whole New Mind, suggests that the paradigm of the future might be an engineering degree with a Master of Fine Arts, as opposed to an engineering degree combined with the Masters of Business Administration. Whether that's true or not, it's fairly certain that engineering education has been slow to change. We have good reasons to change. We even have good models of change. But the departmental system that we live in is designed back in the 18th and 19th centuries not to change. To counter this, the University of Illinois has recently created iFoundry, or the Illinois Foundry for Innovation in Engineering Education. The bottom line is that to educate category creating engineers, we need a principled approach to change. And I encourage you to stay tuned to this video and subsequent videos to learn some of the things that we're trying here at Illinois.